So this is Witcher 4 stuff. We don't know what's in this. Hopefully it's a good amount of gameplay, maybe. Oh shit. Toss a coin to a Witcher.
Sleep is he, the ploughing plonker. Break me pearlies on this blasted pit-ridden tract.
Dude, this looks good. Even if it's just a cinematic.
Aye, the devil's out here! Just running from!
Jesus. Holy shit! It's interesting that they went with Unreal Engine, not their own proprietary engine this time around. It looks fucking insane though. It looks so good. What the fuck is that? Is that a griffin? Oh my god! That's not just a griffin, dude. That's like a demonic one. Bro, what the fuck? Oh, there she is.
Salt. Almost had me fooled, Fruin.
She looks a little bit different from the first reveal of Witcher 4. Yeah, okay, so this is the actual in-game model. Damn, she looks hot as shit. Okay, they definitely... Yeah, see... Wow. Oh, shit. She looks like glammed up version now. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? The Witcher cinematics were always not the direct representation of what the characters are going to look like in-game. So we had a feeling it was going to be this way.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the State of Unreal
Welcome and stick it
at
to you.
Unreal Fest Orlando.
Hell
We're here
yeah.
to show you what's next with Unreal Engine
Okay.
and so much more. We are thrilled that you're able to join us. Thank you.
Dude,
But
that looks so good.
first things first, I'm here with Sebastian and Kitek from CD Projekt Red.
Okay,
We
okay.
have a lot to talk about.
Dude, I like that
Hey, guys.
jacket.
Hey.
Thank you, Wyatt.
Everyone was so mad. I was like, she looked hot either way, but I guess I have terrible...
Thank you,
No, I
Ryan,
thought she
and
looked
hello,
hot. Dude, there were
everyone.
so many people in my
With The Witcher
comments
4,
yelling about
we're
it.
stepping things up.
I thought she was
And
hot.
To do that,
She's definitely
we needed
hotter
the right
here,
partner.
but yeah.
One that truly understands that great open world games are all about art and technology coming together.
Yeah, and look, our goals are completely aligned here. And around the launch of UE5, your awesome team at CD Projekt Red announced a collaboration to make open world development in Unreal even better. And it's an opportunity, we just couldn't pass it up. So we've been working on a technical demo together to achieve just that. I think we should take a look at it.
Woo, let's
You guys
go.
ready?
Let's, oh my
ready.
God, please.
Kitek is going to play the build for us.
Sure.
I
Let's
wonder
do
how
it.
much they actually have, though. Jesus
This is a
Christ.
technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4.
Oh my
What
God.
you just saw and are going to see now is running on a standard PlayStation 5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing.
Standard
So in the game, you'll be
PS5.
playing as Ciri, a professional monster slayer, a witcher. She explores the world and hunts down monsters for coin. The region we are in is called
shit.
Kovir.
This looks
you'll get to
fucking
explore it in a game.
amazing.
Right now, Ciri is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village.
Bro.
All right, everyone, meet Kelpie.
Fuck is a
Let
Kelpie?
weeds be weeds, Kelpie.
Wait,
So
isn't
just like
Kelpie
the
a Like
Ciri
a
has her
water
own loyal
horse?
companion.
We return to town.
These
Oh
two
my
characters used to
God.
feel like one. Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding these to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
Yeah, and to
Dude, look
support
how
that, we're
vibrant
introducing
this shit is.
multi-character motion matching in Unreal. So Ciri and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. And we also
Holy
support
shit.
root motion movement on Kelpie.
Notice
so
no
controlling her
poppin'.
feels realistic
Bro.
and grounded. And there are also some really nice improvements to our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So you've got realistic muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
Wow. Hey, is this the best? What? Wait, they have a whole rigged model of muscles? What the fuck?
So let's
Okay,
leave Ciri
best
behind for a
horse since
second and talk
Red Dead
about the
Redemption
world.
2.
So much of the Witcher world
Jesus
is
Christ.
natural, organic, especially Kovir with its dense forest and wild nature.
Yeah, and wild nature is hard. And with Nanite geometry, we've freed artists from so many of their old
Nanite
constraints.
geometry.
But we don't want to rest until everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do. And foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle. So we are excited to introduce Nanite foliage.
What the fuck is this?
And in
No one
order
knows
to
what the fuck
achieve
that means.
gorgeous foliage density
Nice,
everywhere,
dude.
while still being memory efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea was needed. So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the past 20 years, artists should be free to take a nanite approach to foliage.
So a
modeling
huge
every single
uplift
leaf
on
and pine
performance.
needle. And the old LOD tricks of the past, they needed a complete rethink. And in their place, it's a new adaptive voxel representation in Nanite.
Wow.
It's volumetric, it's fully 3D, it is super fast to render. And these dense clusters of triangles turn into these cubes, which at a distance, they're no larger than a pixel, and they react to the changing light of our dynamic sun and our shadows,
Holy
and they allow
shit.
artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve their vision without compromise.
Bro, I have chills.
And no compromise means how
Just think about
ambitious
getting
we
lost
are
in this
when it comes
world.
to bringing our vision to life with
Bro, this-
incredible visuals. But more than that,
I'll be honest,
together with
I'm more
Epic,
excited about
we
this
created
than GTA
faster ways
6.
to load the world.
I'm just saying.
We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience as we fly down to catch up with Ciri.
I can see why they went with Unreal 5 instead of their own proprietary engine, Red. This shit looks insane,
Welcome
dude.
to Vrest. So Vrest is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade, and mining. It's one of those places where you can meet shady characters or overhear gossip from other lands. It's also where Ciri took on her current contract.
This is on a base PS5, not a
Titus,
PS5
let's
Pro, a
leave,
base
go to here and explore the
PS5. And it's
marketplace.
running at a solid 60, dude.
And the missus?
I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff.
Ain't no
Let's see
way.
what Vrest has to offer.
Hey, what the fuck? Oh, maybe Ciri's into spit. I don't know.
I present him with a fish. For the furry rascal will often wait.
Oh shit. Do you see those NPC interactions? Dude.
Pardon.
Guys, notice how responsive the world is.
No way.
Character actions directly affect what happens around you.
There's
Sometimes
no
even
way
setting off
that-
chain reactions. Everything is working together.
Like, this is a technical test. I wonder how one-for-one this is for the actual game itself.
Oh, look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent.
Good one. Dude. Oh, look. It's a one-armed, one-legged man.
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the series quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
Off your tits
Huh.
again, Wilfred. Get your ass up.
A typical day's toil.
Who in?
Dude, I bet you this is actually very,
using my
very
weapons. No eternity is taken to that
Very
damn
close to
soul
what the
arrive.
game is going to
I
be.
found them. And,
If
well,
not exact.
suffice to say, they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I found not one speck. I presume this comes as no surprise to you. Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is a
Dude, these
no
facial
concern.
animations are insane.
The manticore that flattened your cart and devoured your men.
It was a manticore.
Quite the opposite.
That shit was hideous.
No, them winged hellspawn dwell in the arse end of Creighton, not here.
While Siri decides what to do about that merchant, let's take a look at the character technology that powers this marketplace.
Yeah, this is
Why don't we
insane.
listen in on these fishmongers? They're selling their wares, chatting up customers.
If this is actual direct representation of how it's going to be, this is a technological breakthrough.
Get this clean.
This is insane.
You mind, dearest? Into seeing something more.
Because mind you, this is being captured on a PS5.
And there is tons of tech to play here, even in this simple market stall. Metahuman tools, improved Unreal smart objects, chaos cloth, and more.
Yeah, and all of this exists to make sure that the gap in quality between Siri and NPCs is as small as possible.
Yeah, and closing that gap, it's not just about fidelity, right, but also authenticity. They should react to changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in pillory isn't exciting enough for Vrest. Let's grab everyone's attention with a circus.
What the fuck? So there's like events that happen periodically in the world? In
But the great
towns?
performance deserves a huge crowd though. Let's crank it up.
Let's cronk a donk. So is this representing on like while Siri's doing
you are
her thing,
seeing
all this could be
tons of
happening, right?
Optimizations here to many of Unreal systems, including an entirely new Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit easily in our 60 FPS budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread.
Did he just say
Over
easily?
300 animated skeletal mesh agents, all going about their business.
Bro.
And the whole point is to leave breathing room for developers like you to
What the
introduce the
fuck?
gameplay and the systems that your players expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in
This
your
is
way.
insane.
You are right. That's the open world RPG that we're making. But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with Siri?
How many of those horses will she name the same like Roach? Probably all of them. Probably that's her thing. Xavier, what the fuck?
We are making this game to be the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever. And we are making this a reality thanks to our work on Unreal with the team at Epic.
Unreal. Dude,
I
this...
think what we're doing together is going to bring in a new generation of open world RPGs.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of what we accomplished so far.
This does seem
We are
like
too.
the new standard on how you're
So
going to
we're
make open
almost
world
done, but
games
before
with
we
this
go,
technology.
There's a small gift for all Witcher fans.
If they crack the actual
first
code
look
on
at Nanite
Unreal
system.
Engine, holy shit.
Onward, Kelby. With what?
Bro. Dude. Holy fuck. If they're
Thanks,
okay,
guys.
if this actually unlocks the like
Seriously, it
unlocks
looks
Unreal Engine
amazing.
5,
Thank you.
this is
very
going to be
much.
amazing. This looks absolutely nuts. If what their technology is and how fast they can render things and this new way of rendering like new assets and whatnot, if it's actually faster with this Nanite technology that you see here, if this actually unlocks Unreal Engine 5 and allows devs to like fix certain things with Unreal 5, I can see Witcher 4 being a more of a landmark of a technical standpoint, like an actual like gaming, like video game development technical standpoint than the actual game itself. If this shit is actually pretty much one for one on how the game is going to run, this is going to be This is gonna be game changing. This is gonna be game changing. And I can see that if this game performs extremely well at a technical standpoint, almost every developer is going to like to go with Unreal, because this is insane, dude. This is insane. It's one of those things that looks almost too good to be true, but right now, with how video games are developing now, you say that and it actually works. So we're no longer in that phase. If it looks too good to be true, it can actually be real, you know? And the thing is that depending on like, depending on what engine GTA 6 is running on, I'm not sure if it's, I don't know if they confirmed it's running on like whatever engine they're running it on. But if GTA 6 is running the same technology as the, if it's on Unreal 5 and it's running on this technology, then it's going to be really good. If it's not, I can see GTA 6 running suboptimally, but this is insane, bro. This is insane. When they showed when they showed this, hold up. When they showed the town,
There's a huge crowd though. Let's crank it up.
when they showed this town and all these individual character models meshed together, they said what, 300 character models meshed together,
you are seeing
operating
tons
all
of
on their own, is
optimizations
insane.
here to many of Unreal systems.
This is
including an
this
entirely-
environment. This is a perfect showcase of the actual technical standpoint of this game, because the cities, obviously in any game, especially in like Witcher, is what's going to tank your FPS the most because of all the character rendering.
New
And it flawlessly doing this, even on like a technical demo, this is nuts.
Budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread.
I fully expect now Summer Game Fest to show way more of The Witcher 4. Way more because of this.
Over 300 animated skeletal mesh agents.
This
all
is
going about their
nuts.
business. And the whole point is to leave breathing room for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your players expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You are right. That's the open world RPG that we're making.
That is nuts,
But
dude.
before we wrap up,
Look at this, bro.
the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever. And we are making this
Holy
a
fuck.
reality thanks to our work on Unreal with the team.
Holy fuck, bro.
I think what we're doing together is going to bring in a new generation of open world RPGs.
And
I'm
all
so
they're
proud.
showing, you know what they're showing right here? They're showing that all that's happening in the town, even when Siri's up here. That's what they're showing. It's all seamless. There's no loading. It's all seamless.
Of what we accomplished so far.
We are too.
So we're almost done, but before we go, here's a small gift for all Witcher fans.
Bro. Oh, God.
A first look at LOOOOKKS.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude. I'm literally cooming. This is insane. This is insane, dude. I do think that if they pull this off, Witcher 4 is just going to be how Witcher 3 was. A pillar of video game accomplishment and of like technical standpoint and critic rating. It's, if this is a like a very close representation of how the game is actually going to be, wow. I think we're going to be on a new precipice of game development when Witcher 4 comes out. If GTA 6 runs very well and then it's followed up by Witcher 4, like at this level, man, dude. And here's an instance of like where AI is actually a good thing, right? Like this type of like technical standpoint, this is where AI is real, bro. The actual facial animations Bro, this thing is hideous, dude. This thing is hideous. This was crazy. Because the thing that Witcher does, right, for all their cutscenes, usually it's all in-game cutscenes. So there's really no... This is seemingly probably a little bit more than an in-game cutscene. It's probably done up a little bit more. This is probably one of their premium in-game cutscenes. Because there's in-game cutscenes and then there's like premium in-game cutscenes. This is definitely a premium one. But I would assume that all the cutscenes are in-game. Just like how Witcher 3 was. That looks dude. They definitely glammed up Ciri a little bit more than they definitely made her a little bit thinner in the face and a little bit more feminine looking, I would say. Not that I thought that she looked bad in the first reveal. I thought she looked great. I thought she looked hot as fuck. But there's obviously a difference between like cinematic and then in-game. And it's always been that way. It's like that way with the FF7 remake series. It's that way with Witcher 3. The cinematic representation of the character isn't a one-for-one of how the character is going to look in the game. And so that was my take when we first saw the reveal of Witcher 4, and that's what my thinking was. I thought it was going to change a little bit on the actual end-game character design than the actual cinematic design. And, you know, this is seemingly, you know, how it's going.
Salt. Almost had me fooled, Fruin.
The facial rigging is insane, though. And one thing that The Witcher always did a fantastic job was scenes like this shit, right? Where you have these absolute gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shots of the world, right? And super, super mega vibrant. The Witcher 3 is an insanely vibrant game. Where right now you get a lot of like these medieval type of, you know, fantasy games that are kind of like a little bit drab, a little bit muddy, a little bit gray, a little bit bland. You know, even like Expedition 33 in some places can look a little bit bland in some shots. But Witcher 3 has always been insanely vibrant. Like you get these really red mountains and red rocks, and you get this lush green, and then you get this ice cold blue. It's insane what CD Projekt Red can do with this stuff.
State of Unreal at Unreal Fest Orlando. We're here to show you what's next.
This is crazy. This is nuts. It's PS5.
This is a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4. What you just saw and are going to see now is running on a standard PlayStation 5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing. So in the game, you'll be playing as Ciri, a professional monster slayer, a witcher.
The thing is, too,
the world and
I think this is actually probably a one-for-one with the game. And the reason why is because I'm seeing some clipping, like you see clipping in the village and you see some clipping in these shots. And if this was a done-up technical demo, not a direct representation of the game, they would have cleaned all of that out and made sure there's no clipping, no anything. But because you see some flaws, you can assume that this is probably going to be the actual game itself.
hands down monster for coin. The region we are in is called Kovir, and you'll get to explore it in a game. Right now, Ciri is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village. All right, everyone.
The technology that here's the thing, right? In the game industry now, it used to be about, the technological leaps and bounds that you were accustomed to seeing were usually graphics, right? You used to get huge, insane leaps and jumps between like 3 to 5 year periods of like, holy shit. Like the examples that you could see from like 5 years ago until now are huge with graphical fidelity. Now we've pretty much peaked at graphical fidelity on how good we can make things look. And now it's about how good can we make the game run, and combining that with how good we can make the game look now. So that is really the technological leaps and bounds, is the actual performance of the game and the tricks that you can do to make the game more optimal performance-wise. That is the new thing that you're going to see leaps and bounds with. How good can you make the game run now instead of graphical fidelity? That's what everyone's looking for, is how much FPS can you get with this fidelity?
Weeds, Kelpie.
So just like Geralt and Roach, Ciri has her own loyal companion.
And the tricks
We return to town.
and new development methods
These
that they
two
come up
characters
with
need
is
to feel like
essential
one.
to that.
Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding needs to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
And then coming up with this idea with the nanites is, I don't know what the fuck type of technology that is, but if it's making this game that looks like this run like this,
Yeah,
that is a breakthrough. That is an absolute breakthrough.
To support that, we're introducing multi-character motion matching in Unreal.
I don't even know what the fuck
So
that
Ciri
means.
and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. And we also support root motion movement on Kelpie, so controlling her feels realistic and grounded.
It's insane.
And there are also some really nice improvements to our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So
This
you've
is
got realistic
nuts.
muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
You see, that is the key. That's what you underline. This line right here.
Moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance.
Without compromising the performance. I don't know what type of fucking technology they're coming up with, but this is insane.
Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver.
Chaos Flesh Solver? So it's like the Chaos Fabric Solver, but they're applying it to flesh.
To our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So you've got
Machine-learned deformations.
realistic muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
Bro. Like that, this is insane. You're going to have the most lifelike animations with characters, NPCs, and animals ever with this technology. If you're able to render actual muscle movement underneath like flesh-like material, that is insane. And it not costing like performance, we're starting to, this is another golden age of gaming. Especially golden age of game development. I think 2027, whenever The Witcher 4 comes out and GTA comes out, but especially Witcher 4 with this technology, whenever The Witcher 4 comes out, there's going to be a new standard of technology that everybody's going to adopt, and it's just going to bring in a new like top echelon of games coming out. Of just like incredible like fidelity and performance. Just massive, crazy shit. But do the nuts shrink when it's cold like Red Dead? You are assuming that this horse is female, but maybe. I would assume so. This is crazy though. I think this is a female horse though.
So let's leave Ciri behind for a second
'Cause Kelpie
and
is
talk
pretty
about
female.
the world itself. So
Bro.
much of the Witcher world is natural, organic, especially Kovir with its dense forest and wild nature.
Yeah, and wild nature is hard. And with nanite geometry, we've freed artists from so many of their old constraints. But we don't want to
Nanite
rest
technology.
until everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do. And foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle.
Yeah, foliage.
So we are excited to introduce nanite foliage. And
No one knows what that
in order
means.
to achieve gorgeous foliage density everywhere, while still being memory efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea
Fast
was
to
needed.
render.
So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the
Yeah, so like usually games will use cards to render in their shit, right?
past 20 years,
So they're no longer
artists
using cards anymore. They're using whatever this nanite
should
shit
be
is.
free to take a nanite approach to foliage, modeling every single leaf and pine needle.
Fuck.
And the old LOD tricks of the past, they needed a complete rethink. And in their place, it's a new adaptive voxel representation in Nanite.
That is
It's volumetric,
insane.
it's fully 3D, it is super fast to render. And these dense clusters of
This
triangles
is
turn into these
incredible
cubes,
right here.
which at a distance, they're no larger than a pixel, and they react to the changing light of our dynamic sun and our shadows, and they allow artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve our shadows.
This is
and they allow
insane. This is incredible, man. Because you could do this as a dev when you're working on the game, but for this to work correctly in the game itself and in users' hands, if this actually works, man, this is fucking amazing. This is a breakthrough.
artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve their vision without compromise.
And no compromise means how ambitious we are when it comes to bringing our vision to life with incredible
And you actually do
visuals.
see some
But more
popping
than
here
that,
and there. So
together
this
with
is,
Epic,
I honestly do think this is like a very close one-to-one on how the game's going to look like, because there are some flaws happening and just like normal, like Unreal jankness.
created faster way to load the world. We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience as we fly down to catch up with Siri.
That is crazy. That is crazy, man. Wow. Absolute.
Welcome to
An absolute.
Vrest. So Vrest
Now, you know, as long as this is like very close, an absolute breakthrough. Jesus, man.
is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade, and mining. It's one of those places where you can meet shady
Man. Yeah. This is now my most anticipated game. Man. Outside of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, honestly, this might be, you know what? Yeah, this is my most anticipated game, I think, since Final Fantasy VII Remake, or really anything else. This is literally quite insane. This might be my most anticipated game ever. This is incredible.